Hello, my name is Stephen Davis from Iconic Translation Machines, and today we're going to talk about multilingual eDiscovery and give you 5 elements for best practice. This is part of our contribution to the Global eDiscovery Day. Listen, it's no secret that eDiscovery has gone global. Gartner reports that nearly 80% of all litigation will be multilingual by this time next year. The volume of electronic data potentially involved with an eDiscovery investigation can be vast. Items such as emails, documents, presentations, databases, social media and websites are all forms of electronically stored information, or as we like to call it, ESI. And how that data is processed is extremely important, especially when it contains metadata such as time date stamps, author and recipient information, and file properties. All original content and metadata for ESI must be preserved. Given that the information can potentially be from anywhere in the world, the need for accurate translation is crucial. We at Iconic have gained some invaluable experience in this area and would like to offer these 5 considerations to ensure success when the need for translation arises. Firstly, we'll be talking about data security. Then we'll be talking about translation that is fast and scalable. And then proprietary software, as out of the box, isn't fit for purpose. And teamwork. What happens when things don't go to plan? When files are of poor quality, any other unforeseen problems? You'll need a team that is responsive to your needs. And fifthly, you require seamless translation from within your own platform, within your own workflow. Okay, let's set the scene a little bit. When faced with a cross-border case, a firm can see their eDiscovery workload more than double. A single set of ESI may contain documents in multiple languages for review to identify important evidence for the case. Foreign language documents can be reviewed by native language attorneys, or alternatively can be translated for review by the litigation team in their own language. Several issues may arise when employing foreign language attorneys. Firstly, the cost of hiring multiple legal personnel who are fluent in the required language may prove to be prohibitive and disproportionate. Documents may also include mixed language content, requiring attorneys from multiple jurisdictions. What's more, finding qualified attorneys at short notice to undertake the review is a time-consuming process. Where there is a large volume of content for review, this process usually leads to overwhelming additional expense. Likewise, false human translation, the entire multilingual dataset, can also result in an excessive costs. This is where automated language translation software steps in. There are several factors to consider when choosing a translation service provider, and the following 5 elements in particular will lead to the best outcome for your multilingual eDiscovery case. Firstly, data security. We've listed this at the top of our list because this is what we've found to be the most important factor with our clients on a global basis. Generally speaking, in our sector, there isn't a benefit to be had from using free online machine translation. It might be quick and cheap, but as for data security, the big question is, well, where's our data going? Where's your data going? And what's happening to the data? Where is my data? There are also usually quality limitations and integration limitations. The bottom line is the free online offering is not recommended in this industry. Your automated translation solution needs to be able to process your data securely and in the relevant jurisdiction, especially with the constant focus on data protection. The one-size-fits-all adage should not be applied here. Your language solution provider should work with you on a case-by-case basis to determine the most suitable solution. Having your translation solutions hosted in a top-tier, secure cloud computing facilities, with all translations carried out using this platform, is what we have found to be best practice for data security. Any information being sent for translation should be transient across the translation service. The data should exist only while being translated, and the data and translation should not be stored or cached on servers until required by the user. Also, the technical infrastructure of the service provider should be tested by independent outside sources to ensure maximum security. We found this to be the best policy to ensure safeguarding sensitive data. Now, there are certain cases in which clients require additional security measures. In these cases, a secure, on-premise, fully air-gapped solution can be deployed on the client's own servers to ensure that data never leaves the network, guaranteeing absolute security. Right, fast and scalable. Basically, yes, your software needs to be fast and scalable. The reasons behind that are really exponential increases in the volume of multilingual data and ESI worldwide, coupled with massive improvements in recent years in translation software, and specifically that is neural machine translation software, means that more and more organizations are now opting to use translation software over a native language review. When working through gigabits to terabytes of data, using translation software to get a gist of a large data set improves efficiency by allowing review of all global eDiscovery content in one language. It's undoubtedly more efficient, faster, and a lot more cost-effective and proportionate. Translations for information or gisting purposes, such as technology-assisted review, are ideal for machine translation. The same document can be translated in a fraction of the time, a fraction of the cost of a human doing it. Machine-translated documents can always be reviewed and corrected, edited where necessary to improve readability for delivery to clients, or in order to be certified for court. Now, machine translation is not actually designed to replace professional translation, but there are many cases dealing with large volumes of foreign language ESI for which time is a constraint and time-consuming manual translation is not a practical option. However, in many cases, it's also completely unnecessary when a machine translation can allow you to review the document as effectively but much sooner. As an example, a 30-page document might take a translator up to a week to complete. Machine translation can do it. Your translation solution should give you immediate access to information in your review language, significantly reducing the effort and hassle in locating and hiring expensive in-country reviewers or bilingual attorneys for this purpose. The translation software should also be able to identify the language in the document. It's not impossible for caseloads to have ESI with multiple languages, and your system needs to be able to detect which language it is for ease and speed of translation. It's pretty clear that machine translation is more cost-effective for document and information review than manual human translation. Translating one page costs a fraction of a cent rather than tens of dollars, and manual translation can be saved for those documents that strictly need it for court proceedings or whatever the case may be. Whether you are translating one document or thousands of documents, the automated process should be the same and consistent, and using machine translation is the most efficient, cost-effective, fastest method of reviewing multilingual data. Just for a reference, machine translation should be able to translate roughly 250 to 1,000 pages an hour, but that's highly dependent on the language and the file type. A human couldn't get near that. Okay, let's talk about proprietary software, as out of the box isn't good enough. There are some cases where out of the box might be the answer, but they are just the odd phrase. But for the times when you need to make sure you are working with the best there is, it's advantageous to work with the experts in the field of MT. If you want to talk to an expert about your type of problem, your needs, your file requirements, then a one-size-fits-all isn't going to work. Now, for us, that means having innovative, state-of-the-art proprietary architecture based on neural networks and artificial intelligence, delivering better, more effective translations for review, thus reducing the risk of missing critical information. Simply put, proprietary software enables better quality end-to-end legal translation that can be further adapted and customized by an in-house team of experts using proprietary tools that they have built. Out of the box, by definition, is not going to be able to offer such customization. Now, without getting too technical, neural machine translation, which is where we are now, is not a static technology. It is developing and changing extremely fast-paced. It is important that your translation provider has a clear understanding of the technology and is adapting to the constant improvements and staying abreast of current best practices. This is why working with experts is not only beneficial, it's your best option. Let's talk about teamwork. Might sound a bit glib, but in all walks of life, there are inevitably times when things don't go to plan. And this is no different in the realm of eDiscovery. That's when you need to be able to rely on the experts to get the job done. Your translation solution provider's customer service needs to be able to work with you throughout the entire translation process. They need to understand the technology, how it's used, in order to be able to work through possible issues. We refer to this simply as teamwork, but it's really a collaboration between you and your translation service provider. It should be one. Everyone needs to be able to communicate clearly with one another and in layman's terms. Although the translation technology is created by scientists and is based on neural networks and artificial intelligence, the translation product shouldn't require a PhD to use. Intuitive products make everybody a lot happier. The fifth thing we want to talk about is there should be the capability to embed the translation solution within a platform within your workflow. And there should be no need to be slowed down when you encounter multilingual content. Your translation solution software should integrate seamlessly into your review workflow, equipping you to translate multilingual data at a moment's notice. That could be through an eDiscovery platform plugin such as Relativity, or through a web application or a managed service. There are options, and it's always important to speak to your solution provider to find the best one for you. So in summary, although multilingual eDiscovery can seem a little bit daunting, with the right elements in place, it can be a manageable and straightforward process. Given that not all service providers' services are the same, it's worth researching to ensure you are getting what's best to suit your needs. I hope you find this helpful, and I hope it enables you to be better prepared for your next multilingual eDiscovery case. On behalf of the team at Iconic Translation, thank you very much.